VAR was once again the focus of attention yesterday in the game at the London Stadium. It's dominated headlines, it's divided fan bases after West Ham stoppage time equaliser was ruled out for a foul on David Raya by Pablo after a 4 to 5 minute long VAR check. Chris Kavanagh was the man in charge. Darren England was the VAR. Let's talk about it. It's a very good morning to a man who officiated over 250 Premier League games himself, Chris Foy. Morning, Chris.
Morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning, boys. You well?
Yeah, we're well, mate. So look, let's get straight down to it. I thought it's a foul on the goalkeeper, but on the other hand, I can see at least two other offences going on in there which probably should have been penalties. How the PGMOL allowed this to happen to the game that we all love? You know, their refusal to penalise clear offences has sort of come back to haunt them and caused this dispute, hasn't it?
It's an interesting question, Jeff. I think at the start of the season, we saw quite a few offences of holding that were punished, and we've seen them sporadically through the rest of the season. And I think, you know, there's been some that's been missed by their own admittance. But I think with this situation, what people are doing is that they're comparing and contrasting other incidents that we've seen. But you can't do this alone. I mean, grappling, holding at corners has become untidy, as we all know. I think what you've got to do is identify the ones that are really clear, you know, those acts that have a clear material impact. But this one yesterday, as you quite rightly say, was a foul on David Raya.
I think the problem, Chris, a lot of fans are having is that Arsenal have been doing this all season. There was the first game of the season against Manchester United. There was one against Villa, similar incidents, and no foul given.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to get situations where people will compare and contrast incidents and situations, and some will have been judged correctly, some will have been incorrect, and there'll have been an admittance of that. But I think if we focus on yesterday, I think that was a clear foul, you know, by Pablo on Raya. And that's where people get frustrated. It is consistency.
And well, let's focus on yesterday then, Chris, because in that same incident, did you not see that Trossard had both of his arms wrapped around Pablo to try and prevent him getting to the ball?
What the VAR does, they look at that incident, and as you say, it took, excuse me, between 4 and 5 minutes there to look at that specific thing. And a lot of these incidents happened sort of after the Raya situation. I think that we talk about this material impact on the goalkeeper. I mean, I don't see a corner kick taken in any game now where there isn't some form of physical contact. But when you've got that clear situation on the goalkeeper where he's not allowed to jump, his arm, you know, Pablo's arms across his chest, he's grabbing his arm, he can't get to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious thing, Chris, was, and I accept that, but the obvious thing was quite clearly the Trossard incident on Pablo wasn't after Raya was fouled, because it was before Pablo had got to Raya at all. So it preceded it, you know. And it seems like, you know, you boys from the PGMOL get your heads together to tell us precisely the story which you want to believe. It's like propaganda.
I wouldn't say it's propaganda, Jeff. I think what you've got to deal with is the clear act of holding on the goalkeeper. Where, I mean, there was lots going on. There was a mention of Declan Rice at the back, where he's round the back, but the goalkeeper's foul before him. It's detecting that major incident that occurred in that situation, and that's the one on the goalkeeper. I mean, crikey, I mean, the way it is at the minute, these are really difficult situations, but I think we should give some credit here to the VAR and the referee.
Yeah. Was Trossard fouling Pablo, in your view?
There's contact. I mean, there's contact.
So was he fouling him?
Isn't it?
Was Trossard fouling Pablo?
In my opinion, he's got a hold on him, as other people have. But
so he was fouling him. He was fouling him.
So hang on a minute then, Jeff. Let's just flip this and let's talk about the West Ham goalkeeper who didn't challenge for the ball and smashed into Gabriel. You can take it anywhere you want this.
Declan Rice.
What you've got to do is
grabbing Mavropanos.
I think that came afterwards, Gabby. I think what we've got to do, as I said, is focus on the clear material impact on the goalkeeper. There's not many people saying it's not a foul. And I am with this. I think we shouldn't, we shouldn't detract. We shouldn't detract from this. It's a foul on the goalkeeper. It's a material impact. It's a non-footballing action. He's got his arm across his chest. He's grabbing his arm. It's the right decision.
Oh, I mean, I felt for Chris Kavanagh because he's standing looking at that screen. He knows the significance of this decision. And I'm thinking he's thinking I haven't a clue what to do here, because he was put in an impossible situation. And I'll be honest with you, Chris. Look, all of this stuff, grappling, the fact that the PGMOL have done nothing about. You said sporadically. They've done things about it. Well, that shouldn't be the case. That's what people are talking about consistently. Consistency. You cannot do something sporadically. Surely a foul is a foul is a foul, and it is on the first day of the season, and it is as well at the beginning of May.
I think what you've done, you misunderstood what I've said there, Jeff. We've seen some really positive interventions with holding this season, and as I said, some have been missed. And there's been an admittance of that. But I think everybody's got a part to play in this. I mean, when Gabby played and I refereed, if he was stood in front of the goalkeeper, nudging the goalkeeper, I blow the whistle before the corner comes in. Is Gabby going to change his tack? Are you going to change your tack, Gabby? Are you going to stand there in front of the goalkeeper? Does it have any effect when I come in and speak to you?
I think it will do because you don't want a foul to be given. Your job is to put the keeper off, but you've been warned. You're probably going to be like, okay, I've got to be a bit wise here, or he's just going to give a foul.
Do you think referees should move in before a corner's taken and warn the players, or just give penalty?
I just think, don't warn them. You think it's a penalty. You think it's a foul on the keeper. But a lot of the fan bases, apart from Arsenal fans, just look at so many times this season, Arsenal have scored goals from corners, free kicks, wherever it is, from nudging keepers, pushing keepers, arms in keepers' faces, and the goals have still stood. And you see that yesterday, and you're like, you feel for West Ham. You feel for it. Is that enough? Like Jeff says, the foul on Mavropanos, Trossard on Pablo. It's such chaos in the box in the last seconds of the game. Do you say to yourself, listen, there's so many fouls going on. I'm not going to take the goal away from West Ham.
No, you can only judge it on what you see. I mean, that was what happened yesterday. But quite clearly, this has become a massive talking point, hasn't it? Holding at corners or grappling, as people say. And I think, at the end of the season, it's something that will be looked at. I think everybody needs to have an understanding of what is and what isn't acceptable, because there's always contact at corner kicks, isn't there? Whether it be an attacker who's trying to create space or a defender who's making sure they're touch tight. It's really, really tough.
And Nuno, the West manager, said afterwards, even referees don't know what's a foul and what isn't these days. Look, Chris, thank you very much indeed.
Top man, Chris.
Cheers, lads. Have a great day.
You too, mate.
You too.
Chris is thinking, I've got more stick than the referee that made the decision.
Yeah, because I think, a lot of people have sympathy with Chris Kavanagh that he was put in such a difficult position. He'd given the goal. He gave the goal.
And the thing as well, Jeff, if you ask the referee, Chris Kavanagh, he would have been looking at the goalkeeper. So his first look, he's got the best look live. No, that's not enough for me. It's a goal. He's not going to be looking at Mavropanos and Declan Rice. He's not going to be looking at Trossard. He's looking at Pablo and saying, not enough for me to disallow it. Let's let the referees make some decisions themselves.
Yeah. Former Premier League referee Chris Foy with us.
Or Chris.